welcome. How are you? I'm doing well. Before us here is the hood for the 1989 Corvette project, which recently you saw go to the dyno and make really good numbers for an engine of its size. If you haven't seen that video, I will put a link to it at the end and maybe in the description if I can figure that out. But what I wanted to share today is this hood, which is a creation that with the engine swap, the hood itself became kind of an interference, but it was still necessary. And the hood actually became the air box that the air box kind of closes down on the carburetor. So in order to get to this point here, I had to remove the old hood scoop that was there to, because the carburetor went through the hood. But this one being even higher, I needed to remake the base of the hood so that it would seal around the carburetor and not, interfere with the engine moving a little bit. In hopes of restyling and redesigning in a way that works with the body of the car being it's a Corvette. When they drew this thing up, they were pretty sure that that looked good. So when you go changing stuff on a Corvette, you better be pretty sure. So what better way than to take the actual form off of a Corvette L98 hood. So 1989 original hood, I took this form off of it. Let me show you a clip of what I mean. So this is the hood right here that originally belongs to this car. And you can see that it's covered in wax and there's an outline here. So what I did was I took the entire profile of that hood design and I put it onto the car and I raised it up, to the point where it would clear the wipers. I also pushed it towards the windshield. So ended up kind of flaring it in the rear and going with the suggested body lines from the front feature in the other hood. So the Corvette, the Corvette is missing its hood right now because it's actually this hood that's going back on. So let me lift up this and show you kind of the special features. So when I lift up this, I have cut the hood to gain all this airspace for air to be able to go through a extruded aluminum filter holder, I guess, and then I made a very unrestrictive air filter. So inside of here, we've got a really dished out area in the front, as this area gets very close to the hood. So if I set this back down here, you can see how it mates all the way across and you get this big vacuum nozzle. It overhangs the hood up to the windshield. So what I'm getting ready to do is I'm going to lay a whole layer on the bottom side of this. I'm going to do a whole layer on this, and then that strip of paper represents, I'm going to put about 3 to 5 layers of that shape right where it's going to bond. So I'm going to put it on time lapse and I'm just going to start going. I'm going to do a little bit here as well on this edge. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of work. Here we go. Alright, so we're going to go for the live stick here. I've got one more batch of resin here, and I'm going to go over this with one more layer, and then I'm just going to, I guess, go for it and see how it turns out. Something to wipe my hands. Well, that could have gone a lot better. What an absolute pain in my ass. But it is screwed and glued, and it even looks straight. Cool. Well, we're ready for the next step here. Final coat, the final layer, the final chapter. Very happy with the results so far. Pulled all the screws out, sanded all the edges. So now to do a little bit of body work on those edges, sand that, and then get a big piece ready that's gonna go, I guess, to the bottom here. And then that is going to blend with this. Probably gonna end up painting the hood surface, and then if this comes out perfect, I'll leave that exposed carbon and the vents maybe. We'll see. Hello and welcome to the end of the video where I complete the project. Here we are after many hours of sanding, mainly in the sides, the front, the side over here. I'm now ready to lay one big piece over the whole top. So I've got my measurements here. I've got a nice big piece selected right here. So I'm going to mix up some resin and give it my best shot to put one piece over this whole scoop. And then I'm going to go around and I'm going to trim off the extra once it's stuck down to avoid the edges from fraying. So enjoy some music and some time lapse, and hopefully this will be a done project at the end.